everyone, and welcome to this year's Christmas build. So this year I decided to go smaller and simpler and just make a Christmas cabin, unlike last year and the year before that, because last year I had that huge Christmas inn that I made, and then the year before that I made a mansion, and both of them were two-part speed builds and just took a lot of time to make, and yeah, it's just a little bit shorter on time this year, so I really just felt like making something smaller and cozier, and I'm really happy with how this cabin turned out. I mean, it's definitely pretty simple, but I had a lot of fun decorating it and just making something that had this very cozy feel to it. And right now, I don't have the First Snow mod installed, but after I got a little bit into the build, I decided to put it in and finish the build and just make it look a little bit more wintry and snowy. So yeah, I think about 3 minutes into this video, you'll see it just change to where everything looks really wintry. And yeah, I wasn't going to use it at first because the mod was unfortunately causing some issues in my game with the gameplay. Like, it was just making it so I would constantly have error messages pop up, and I think I've seen where some other people have had problems with it, but then for other people it works fine, so I guess it's kind of a gamble how it's going to work for you. But yeah, it does work fine in build mode, so I just wanted to put it back in and actually put it to use and just make something that felt a lot more Christmassy. So it's a lot of fun trying that out and building with it, because it does recolor all of the, or at least most of the plants. So it's kind of cool to put them to use with the more snow-covered textures. Although, I don't know if I want to know what it looks like if you put this lot in the game without using the mod, because I was just kind of grabbing different plants without really caring what they would normally look like and sticking them in the game, because with the mod it just makes all the plants, or all the flowers, look like they don't actually have the flowers bloomed on them, which makes sense. So everything just looks like leaves, so it might look like a complete mess when you take the mod out and you don't have it recolored like that. So yeah, it might not look very good if you download it without the mod, or I don't know, maybe it'll be fine, but unfortunately because I did use the mod, it might be a little harder to find on the gallery, because you have to be sure to check off the box that says show items using custom content or something like that, and also try to remember to include a link to the mod in the description just in case anyone wants to try it out, because I mean, it at least works well for building, and I don't know, maybe some of you will try it and it'll work perfectly fine. Like, I might just have some mods that it's conflicting with, although I don't really have a ton in my game. But the inspiration for this build came from a picture I saw when I was just looking for Christmas cabins, because I saw this cabin, which I'll put a picture of somewhere on the screen, that was very simple, but I thought was very charming, and I liked how there was a wreath hanging up on the chimney and how there were lights along the railing, so I tried to recreate those things in this build. And the picture was also taken in the winter, so there's just snow on the ground, just looked very peaceful, so that also made me want to put the First Snow mod back into the game and finish the build using it. But yeah, on another note, I am very excited for Christmas this year. I mean, usually I am excited, but this year I'm doing something different, which I did talk about in a previous speed build. So basically, this year, instead of visiting my family, I'm going to be spending Christmas with my fiance's family, and I'm going to be going down to his sister's house for a few days, and, you know, I will miss my family, of course, but it's just kind of cool to get to do something a little bit different than you normally do, and I will still see my parents probably the day after I get back. So yeah, I'll be down there for like 3 days, and then I'll be spending another day with my parents, so I'm just gonna be going away for a little bit and getting a break. It'll just be kind of nice to just get that break and just, you know, do something different. And I also took over a week off of work, so I don't have to work again until January 2nd, which is nice. It's nice to just get a little bit of a break, because I didn't really go on vacation this year. I went on like a weekend trip to the beach back in the fall, but yeah, I didn't go away for a whole week. So I mean, it's definitely nice to like just actually get a week off and just have some time to myself to really just kind of relax, because this year I basically just took long weekends, and that was because like with work there was all this crazy stuff going on over the summer, like back when I was doing all that traveling a couple months ago, and I was going away for like a week or a week and a half at a time and going away very frequently. And basically because of all that stuff, they said that if you didn't put in your vacation request before like May, then you weren't really going to be able to take a vacation. So yeah, at that point I hadn't actually planned anything, so couldn't really take a break. But I had some long weekends here and there, so it wasn't really that bad. Oh, also, last time, so yeah, in the last speed, I was also talking about how I signed up to run a 5K on Christmas Eve, and how I was nervous about whether I'd even be able to run the 5K since I hadn't run in a few years. And I'm not really worried about being able to run the race endurance-wise anymore, because I did actually go for a 3-mile run on Sunday and was able to successfully do it. I mean, it was a really slow run, probably more of a jog, but I was able to do it. The only problem is, now I'm worried that I'm not physically going to be able to run the race, because when I did that run, I managed to somehow mess up one of my feet. I don't know what I did. It felt fine during the run, but then the day after I just started having pain in one of my feet. So yeah, of course something else goes wrong. So I'm just really hoping it's better by Sunday when I go to run it. It's just kind of frustrating because I was really happy after finding out that I would be able to finish the 5K without having to walk at all, and I was actually starting to look forward to it rather than dreading it. And then of course the next day my foot started bothering me, and it's currently Thursday right now and it's still bothering me, so I'm worried that it's not going to be good enough in time for Sunday, and I don't think it's a good idea to run if it's still hurting, because that's probably going to make whatever's going on even worse. And I think it was just because I did too much too soon. Like, ideally, I should have maybe started with like a 1-mile run and then went to a 2-mile run and just kind of worked myself into it and just focused on, you know, doing it with good form and maybe a little bit faster and just kind of eased into it. Because, I mean, even though I could do it, it is still hard on your body to run, so I probably needed to adjust my body to it a little bit better than what I did, which was just, you know, doing a 3-mile run after not having run in years. So yeah, that's probably why that happened. But yeah, I'm hoping whatever it is, it gets better. I think it's probably just like an irritated a tendon or something like that. I don't think it's like I broke anything. It would probably feel a lot worse if I actually did that. But anyway, that's enough talking about my foot. So back to the build. We're on the inside now. We're furnishing the living room, which I really like. It just has this very cozy feel, and we've got some cheesy Christmas colors on the furniture, because I mean, this is a Christmas build, so you've got to pile on the red and green and really give it that Christmas vibe. So yeah, it's just I just find it fun to make cheesy Christmassy builds like this, because I mean, I get to do it once a year, so I like to kind of go all out with it. Although I guess I didn't really go super all out with it. I definitely could have gone more all out with it than I did. I mean, it doesn't look quite like Santa Claus threw up in here. But I did find that a lot of the items that came with cats and dogs go really well with cozy cabin type builds like this. Like the curtains and the couches. I mean, basically everything I used in here, because most of what I used in the living room either came with the holiday pack, or not pack, well, holiday update stuff, or cats and dogs, like the fireplace. I was thinking about using the holiday pack fireplace, but I don't know, I didn't really quite like how it looked in here, and I just felt like that fireplace really just went with the cabin vibe of this place so well. And I mean, the couch, like, it just, I don't know, I'm just really happy with this living room, and I had a lot of fun furnishing it. And with this house, I imagine that the 2-floor part of it was the original house, and then the rest of it was added on later. And originally I was going to have the area at the back of it be the dining room, but I realized that probably wouldn't be a good idea, because it's kind of almost as big as the rest of the main area. It'd just be kind of obnoxious to have a dining room that was almost that big, so I ended up turning it into more of a rec area, which I think works a lot more. And then the dining room, it's not really a dining room, it's just a table with 3 chairs around it at the front of the build, but I feel like that works a lot better with a small build like this, because I feel like it would have been weird having such a proportionally large dining room. And plus, I mean, having the rec area is just nice because I've got a whole bunch of activities out there, so if your Sims visit here, then there's just a lot more that they can do. So, I mean, it's a couple days till Christmas when this is going up, so I mean, you could send your Sims here for a vacation until then if you want. I also added some pet stuff in, so if your Sims bring their pets along, then there's going to be stuff in here for them as well, so they don't have to worry about that. And the room off to the side of the kitchen is supposed to be the master bedroom, and then upstairs there's a couple of smaller bedrooms and a bathroom. So you could potentially bring up to 6 Sims here, because one of the bedrooms upstairs has 2 twin beds in it, or 2 of the single beds in it, and then the other one has a double bed in it. And I just had so much fun furnishing this build. I know I've said this before, but this cozy style is just my favorite style of build to furnish, and I would really like to live in just a house with a cozy, charming, like traditional, I guess, kind of feel to it. Like, I mean, I guess a house that's more traditional but feels kind of updated, like not a super modern house. I don't know. I've actually been thinking a lot recently about what kind of house I would like to live in, because we're actually going to be buying a house this year, probably before our lease ends in May, which, or actually at the end of April, which is maybe a little bit too tight of a deadline to do that, because the house buying process can take, like, I read that usually it takes about 3 to 4 months, but sometimes it could take more than that. We've got a little over 4 months right now, so if we start right now, like, we're gonna be cutting it really close, so I'm kind of stressing out a little bit about that, and I don't know, like, we just wanted to get it before our lease ends, because don't really want to deal with going month to month. Also don't want to extend our lease another year, and I don't think our landlord would want to let us go month to month, because he's already asking us if we're planning on renewing our lease, and it doesn't even end for another 4.5 months. So if he's already asking us at this point to let him know as soon as possible if we're going to be renewing our lease, and he's asked us a few times, I don't think we're going to be able to go month to month. I just don't think that's an option. I don't think that's a risk that our landlord really wants to take, because I don't think he wants to be put into a situation where he has to pay for the mortgage of the house in full for a month or two or something like that. So I think he's just trying to avoid that. So yeah, I think we're gonna have to buy a house before the lease ends if we want to do that, which is definitely stressing me out a little bit, but I think we can hopefully do it, because I've read that some people can go through the whole house buying process in like a month, which is really quick. So I mean, that gives me hope that is something that is possible. And yeah, I just don't really want to continue renting, because I feel like it's kind of throwing your money away, especially if you're gonna stay in a place for a while. But the stressful part of buying a house aside, I am really excited to do it, because I mean, I've watched my fair share of HD TV shows, so I'm excited to be able to actually look at houses and be able to buy a house and actually be able to paint the walls and replace things if that, you know, that I don't like appliances or counters or whatever. Because I mean, when you rent, you don't really want to invest that money, because I mean, you're not the one who benefits from it. But yeah, I'm just really excited for all of that. I've just been looking at houses online and kind of like figuring out what kind of place we want to buy, because there's some really nice cozy Cape Cod houses and just really nice cozy houses that I've seen. So I'm really excited to actually get to start looking at them and all of that. So probably not long after the new year, we'll start the process of doing that, because I guess the first step is to get a realtor, and then you look at houses, and I don't know, there's just a whole bunch of stuff that we have to get in line to make it happen. But I'm really hoping that it's something that can, and I'm just really, really excited for it. But anyway, back to the build. We're on the master bedroom now, and I really like how this turned out. I went for kind of a different color scheme than I usually would, because typically I go for kind of medium brown woods in rooms. And with this room, I actually went with more of a blue wood color, because I was trying to match this bed that came with cats and dogs with the end tables that came with outdoor retreat, because when I had the cats and dogs ones in there, it just didn't really feel like it went with the cabiny feel enough. But when I mixed the outdoor retreat ones with it, it definitely made it more of a cabin feel. And mixing the blue wood on the outdoor retreat one with the, you know, bluish wood on the cats and dogs bed actually worked pretty well. Like, it looks almost like the same thing, but it's not a perfect match, but I think it still does end up looking pretty good. So I was really happy with how that turned out. And then we got the green rug in there, so it kind of goes with the cheesy Christmas vibe that we have going on with the red curtains. And I believe that's almost it for this room, just kind of trying to figure out how to place decorations around it to make things feel a little bit more filled in. But I'm really happy with how cozy this room looks. I feel like I've said cozy so many times in this build, I could probably make a drinking game out of it. But yeah, I think I ended up replacing that chair with a bookshelf, because there wasn't a bookshelf anywhere else in the house, so I figured we had to stick one in, and I wasn't sure what to do with that wall, so there we go, there's a bookshelf over there. And yeah, after this I move on to the bathroom that is off to the side of this bedroom. And oh yeah, I also remember that we have the size down sheet, which I feel like I haven't, like, I keep forgetting that we have it, but it definitely came in handy in a few places in this build. But with this bathroom, I actually forgot at first that we had a bathroom set that came with outdoor retreat, so I ended up furnishing with old stuff from the Vampires game pack, which I think did kind of work for the style, but I don't know, probably should use outdoor retreat stuff. But after I did, I didn't really feel like going back and replacing it. But I did remember that when I went to do the upstairs bathroom. And speaking of the upstairs, we're on to that now, so just figuring out this cozy little landing area in here, and I really like how it turned out. Those rugs that come with cats and dogs also work really well with this build. And every time I see those, I just think of like my grandparents' house, because I remember they had, actually I think they still have rugs like that. But yeah, that's the exact same kind of rug that they had. Yeah, so anyway, this bedroom that we're working on right now is supposed to be more of a kid's bedroom, so I just had some toys in here, but I didn't make it too colorful. Like, I still try to keep with the more earthy tones that the rest of the cabin had, but I still try to make it a little bit more kid-friendly. And I got so annoyed with trying to figure out what to do with the curtain behind the bed, because I put the curtains that were a little bit wider on, then they went into the bathroom a little bit, and I couldn't really have that. But then if I don't know, I just got really frustrated with that, but I ended up just doing that anyway. It doesn't look perfect, but that's just what I settled on, because I just wanted to move on from that. I didn't really want to take one of the windows away. I don't know, sometimes I just get really annoyed by little details like that. But right now we're just placing some things on top of the dressers here and getting some toys in the room. And there were these flowers that I ended up using in all of the bedrooms, because to me they just felt kind of Christmassy, and I know they're not supposed to be poinsettias, but for some reason they just kind of reminded me of poinsettias. Like, they look almost like them, so it just felt kind of like a Christmas flower decoration to me in a way. But we're just putting some toys around the room and trying to figure out the wall decoration. So this room is almost done. I found that coloring of those pictures actually worked really well with the look of this room. And then for the rest of it, I just used those tree decals that came with Parenthood, because I felt like they went really well with the kind of, outdoorsy cabin vibe of this place. So yeah, I was glad that worked out pretty well. And then now we're on to the last bedroom, which is another bedroom with a double bed. So I guess if you have a couple of couples going here, then this bedroom would work well for a couple, or I don't know, if you have a teen in the family, it would work well for them as well. But on another note, I have been saying recently how I was planning on starting a Let's Build a Vet Clinic series, and I just want to say that I was planning on finally starting that next week, probably next Friday or Saturday, so I'm really looking forward to starting that. And I might post a poll in the community section, like asking whether you all would rather see a modern or traditional vet clinic, because I'm not really sure which style to go with for it, so I would like to know your opinion. I mean, if you can leave a comment saying which you would like to see, but I probably should actually try using the community section and posting a poll, because that'd probably be a better way to do it. And I've yet to use it, but that's just, I haven't really been sure what to use it for, and I don't want to like just use it to like post statuses and just be kind of annoying and turn YouTube into Facebook. So I don't know, it would probably will be useful for occasionally posting updates, like if something happens and I can't upload for a while. So I'm glad to have it for that kind of a thing. But I think in the past they actually had a thing where you could post statuses in a way on YouTube. Like, I think back when I started in 2013 you could do it, but then they took it away, and then now they're bringing it back. But anyway, we're almost at the end of the build, so as usual, if you want to download it, there'll be stuff on how to do so in the description. And I hope you'll have a Merry Christmas if you celebrate it, and if you don't, then I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and thank you for watching this anyway. And yeah, that's gonna be all for me, so I hope you enjoy the rest of the video.